Girl, I just want me with you like guys.
And many more. To listen to our programs, follow us live on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Aloore Radio, Twitter and Instagram at Aloore Radio. You can also subscribe on our YouTube page on Aloore Radio. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you know when we are live. This is Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
Wo táwo ewédú gbẹ̀gìrì àmàlà ó ń gbóná fẹlifẹli nìbàdàn ìlú rédíò Aloore. Rédíò Aloore lẹ̀ ń tẹ́tí sí láti Ìbàdàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ Nàìjíríà. Wo táwo ewédú gbẹ̀gìrì àmàlà ó ń gbóná fẹlifẹli nìbàdàn ìlú rédíò Aloore.
Sing a song of joy when neighbor. Sing a song of love your neighbor. Sing a song of justice for peace around the world. Sing a song of hope for children. Sing a song of rejoicing spirit. Sing a song of prayer. You have a voice. This new song to sing.
I've been told as I get old, this world could cease to be. The world I knew as a child has changed, but for the better, I'll disagree. The world of a youth has changed its tune and its greed and money they would sing. The family unit has lost its fire. Mom and dad are doing different things. I still believe we are all the same. Love can heal the wounds and hurt most any pain. Put your arm around a neighbor. Tune up an instrument to play. Time is wasting. Lift up your voice. The time is now for a new song to sing.
Everybody sing a song of joy when neighbor. Sing a song of love your neighbor. Sing a song of justice for peace around the world. Sing a song of hope for children. Sing a song of rejoicing spirit. Sing a song of prayer. You'll have a voice. This new song to sing.
Some wise men say there'll come a day when the earth rolls over in sin. But if we live for one another in God, with open minds the light will shine in. It's the spirit of the old deep down in the soul. If you listen, it'll set you free. Doesn't matter how many coins you have, live and let live can bring us peace. I still believe we all are the same. It makes no difference of your color or name. Put your arm around a neighbor. Tune up that instrument to play. Time is wasting. Lift up your voice. The time is now for a new song to sing. Everybody
sing a song of joy when neighbor. Sing a song of love your neighbor. Sing a song of justice for peace around the world. Sing a song of hope for children. Sing a song of rejoicing spirit. Sing a song of prayer. You have a voice. This new song to sing. You have a voice. This new song to sing.
now I've been told as I get old, the world could cease to be.
You have a voice. This new song to sing.
everyone, wherever you may be at the moment. You are welcome to your regular program, Oju Inu Agba Oye, on Aloore Radio, courtesy of the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, right here in Ibadan, Oyo State. As you're listening, you can watch us live on our platforms www.alooreradio.com or on Facebook and YouTube at Aloore Radio. You're welcome once again to today's segment of the program. Today on the program, we'll be talking about tourism. Our main focus today is tourism, art, and education. The synergy between these three factors: tourism, art, and education. And I have here, you see beside me, I have wonderful, young, vibrant, beautiful ladies beside me, and they will be talking about tourism and the practice of tourism we have. As a layman, what we need to know about tourism, what tourism is about, and the impact tourism is having in our society nowadays. So right here I have with me
Ayilagbe Zainab Ayomide
and
Oyewole Khalida Kosola.
yes, they are undergraduate students from the Osun State University, and they are both undergraduate students of ecotourism and tourism and hospitality. So without much further ado, Zainab, what is tourism? You know, I'm new to I'm not a tourist and I'm not into that field. So
Yes.
what is tourism?
To start with, tourism is basically the business of travel and pleasure.
Travel and pleasure.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it is for traveling and you can make it a business too. So, tourism is very, very wide.
Okay.
We have different forms of tourism. We have domestic tourism, we have inbound tourism and outbound tourism. Then we have different types too. We have ecotourism, we have sport tourism, we have food tourism, games tourism, different types. It is so wide. We have cultural tourism.
Oh,
We have ecotourism.
so
agri
definitely we have in this tourism, we can have like tech tourism. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So over to Oyin Kosola. From your own perspective, what is tourism to you?
Tourism means moving, like leaving your usual environment to another place for
Okay.
fun, pleasure, business, and so on.
So basically, if I understand what you are telling me, it seems everybody is a tourist,
Yes.
or probably we engage in tourism every day, because if I leave my home for to my workplace, that's for business, right? So that means I'm a tourist
Yes.
in some aspects.
But I won't say that is tourism.
Okay, so what do you think
Because
tourism is?
tourism, minimum of 24 hours, maximum of 365 days. Anything less than 24 hours, you've not done tourism.
Wow. So if it's not up to 24 hours,
Then you've done tourism.
oh, but if it's more than that,
You've done tourism. But if
and
it is-
maximum of 365 days,
Yes,
that's a year.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So what if it's more than a year? What does it become?
It's still tourism.
It's still tourism, but it has to be more than 24 hours.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now, okay, back to, let's rewind back. Miss Ayilagbe, can you tell us about, okay, who are you and what inspired you to dabble into this field? How did the journey of being an undergraduate in the field of tourism started?
Okay, I wasn't inspired by anything really.
Okay.
I was given the course, but at first I was so confused. And what is this course about? What do I do? Do I just keep traveling around? Do I just go into the wild and keep chasing animals and so on?
Okay.
So later I just made research. I checked every platforms I could to gain more knowledge about this thing, and I was like, wow, this is extremely wide,
More than you think.
more than I ever thought of.
Okay.
So that is how I gained interest. Like I was just doing it for like, okay, they gave me the course, let me just go on with it. We're in Nigeria.
Okay.
But now I do it because I love it, and I want to know more.
So that is to say you found meaning, you found a purpose. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely.
Okay. And okay, being an undergraduate of ecotourism, what has so far so good has been the journey? What is it you've learned, and what is your impact presently to society, and what is going to be your impact when you're done with this, with this course of yours?
Okay. Presently, I'm still in the course. I'm still studying, but now I just know more about sustaining the our environment, how we can maintain and sustain our fauna and flora. That's plants and animals in the environment, because that is what ecotourism deals with: the natural area, the sustenance of our natural
Habitat.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So, after my studies, my plan is to venture into cultural ecotourism.
Cultural ecotourism. So, what's cultural ecotourism about?
Cultural ecotourism is about the tourism of our culture. How we can improve our culture, how we can sustain. Emphasis on sustain, because this is what it is. To be an ecotourist, you have to know how to sustain and maintain the environment, ecology.
Okay.
So, for example, when I mention cultural ecotourism, there are so many things we do in our country that is part of our culture.
Okay.
So, my own aspect, what I want to venture into really
what
is
you want to focus on
is cosmetic line.
Okay.
How I can turn tourism and culture together to be in line with culture.
And how do you plan doing that, or by doing what exactly?
We have so many plants in Nigeria that we can use.
Okay.
For the cosmetic line, we have to be basically organic cosmetic line, because nowadays we have so many young ladies and young men out there that they are not
chemicals.
Exactly, they are not proud of their skins. They prefer synthetic products over our natural products. And that is not who we are. We have to embrace who we really are. We have to maintain everything we have. We have to be proud of who we are. We have to be proud of our skin. We shouldn't use anything that's going to be damaging.
Our skin.
Yes. And that is the kind of tourism, because that is exploring the wide range of fauna.
Okay.
Different types of plants that we have. Building it in our cosmetic line to make our skin okay, and
like herbal cosmetics.
Herbal cosmetics.
Okay. But that's
basically
great.
Organic.
Okay. So let's move to Miss Oyekosola. So to you, since you've been in this field, tourism and hospitality, yours is ecotourism. And yours is tourism and hospitality. Okay, so what are you focusing on? What is it that you are looking at to do?
Sure, there are a lot of things I can do under my course.
Okay.
If I say that is the tourism aspect I want to go into.
Okay.
And if I also say that it's the hospitality part. And if I say that is the tour operators I want to go into, fine. Like she just said, there are different types of tourism: agri-tourism, religious tourism, armchair tourism, sport tourism, cultural tourism, and so on.
Okay.
And if I wish, I would love to go into agri-tourism.
So what does agri-tourism entails?
Agriculture.
Okay. Agriculture.
Yes,
okay.
And tourism together.
Okay, do you know agri-tourism from agricultural tourism? Do you know there is culture also in our agric? That's the word agriculture. Agri and culture brings about agriculture. So definitely, even you as a person, going to cultural tourism,
Yes.
you see using the flora, the plants, different plants for the cosmetic part, like using natural cosmetics.
Yes.
So that's still, I think you're still in line with agri-tourism at the
Tourism.
same time, because you're dealing with plants, and
Yes.
plants are also agriculture. So as an undergraduate, okay, after you finish your study or you finish your course, what do you intend venturing into, and how do you want to apply tourism and hospitality to what you do to the society?
So, as a tourism student, and I love to go into the agri-tourism aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, tourism I have to use at least 24 hours, then max 365 days.
Or more.
Yeah, or more.
Okay.
Or more.
Okay.
So me venturing into agri-tourism is calling people to come and check out plants.
Okay.
Like, there's also going to be crossbreeding of plants, not like
You mean the hybrid plants?
Hybrid
Okay.
plants.
yes.
Okay.
And me venturing into agri-tourism is actually going to be a guest house near my agri-tourism site.
Okay.
Because for people that want to use like 2-3 days, they must have where they are going to sleep.
So that's where you bring in hospitality
Yes,
into tourism.
that's where we bring in the hospitality part
That's great.
of tourism.
Okay. Oh well, that's great. Well, I don't want to bore you with so much questions. Okay, now I want to ask, with all you've said and the information you've given me and our listeners at home, how do people, or let me say Nigerians, or should I say people generally, want the government to do everything, and to be rest assured, it's a certain fact or known fact that the government cannot do everything. We as citizens have to put our own quota. We have to put our own input as well. So how do you, okay, for undergraduates like you, in your field or in different fields, what do you have to say to them? What do you have to tell the populace, the people at home, people listening to us? You don't have to. I used to tell people, if you dream it, you can do it. So you don't have to really, though you in school right now in this field, but at the same time, it's not every skill. There are some engineers we have that they didn't pass through school. They pass through learning and acquiring the skill.
Yes.
So now, what do you tell people that have interest in this kind of line? What can they do? For undergraduates like you, what's your word for them? Let me start with you, Zainab.
Okay. I think you already said much of it. If you can dream it, then you can achieve it. Whatever you think of and you believe, then you can do it. As long as you work towards it. You have to put in the work. You have to be ready to do all it takes to know more about it. Then you'll achieve it.
Yeah, she said it all already, but you have to have the ability to face challenges, overcome your fears, because sometimes people are covered with fear that I cannot do this thing. This thing is going to have positive mind.
Conquering the fear factor.
Yes.
Think win-win.
Okay.
Think win-win.
Think win-win. Oh, you're talking about the 7 habits of effective people.
Yes.
Okay, being proactive.
Yes.
And what's the next step? Doing first is
Beginning
with
mind in view.
mind in view.
Or end in view.
End in view.
Yes.
And the third step is
Putting first things first.
putting first things first.
Yes.
Fourth step,
Think win-win.
think win-win. No
Yes.
matter which way, you have to win.
Yes.
And the fifth step,
Seek first to understand, then be understood.
okay. And the sixth step,
Synergize.
and the last step,
Sharpen the sword.
sharpen the sword. Okay. Well, listeners at home, you've had it from them. The 7 habits of effective people. And whatever you do, whichever field you find yourself, if you are not effective in that field, that means you're not doing so much. You're not doing anything. So we have to, synergize. That is, work with people, work hand in hand with a team, work hand in hand with your society and your environment. Think win-win. Nothing is impossible for you. Like I said, if you can dream it, you can do
achieve
it. Okay. So now, presently, you're from Osun State University, right? So
Yes.
presently, what are you doing in Ibadan, or what has brought you to Ibadan?
I'm interning at Tunde Odunlade Art and Culture Connections for my entrepreneurship internship.
Okay. So far you've started your entrepreneurship internship.
Yes.
So how far has the Tunde Odunlade Art and Culture Connections been able to impact or affect you positively in your line of discipline?
So far, I've learned a lot, like things I did not even know of, things I've never heard of. I've learned so many things, and I'm glad I'm here.
It's been inspiring.
It's very inspiring.
Same here, like they say, knowledge is power. We learn every day.
Okay.
So I've learned new things at Tunde Odunlade Art and Collections Bodija Ibadan. Like that's been fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listeners at home, we'll be bringing you another episode of this segment where we'll talk more about tourism and how we can use tourism to help the society as people, how we can, take tourism aspect to the greater level. And the governor of Oyo State, as especially the State Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, is ready to do so much more. And like I said, the government can do it, or we have to, collaborate. We have to work hand in hand with the government so that the plans of the government can be actualized. So thank you once again for coming on the segment of this program, Oju Inu Agba Oye. And I hope whenever I will call you next to come showcase on the program, you have more for us. Thank you for coming with us. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you some other time. Listeners at home, we'll be right back. We'll stay on the program Oju Inu Agba Oye on Aloore Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I wake up in the morning with him on my mind. Buhari talking about him all the time. God's been good to me. God's been good to me. Ojilo wura kutukutu ó wá lọ́kàn mi. Kò tán yín rere rẹ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ọlọ́run ó dára sí mi. Ọlọ́run ó dára sí mi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Aloore Radio. We're here representing Young Artist at Home, and we have some of our students here with us. We're promoters of information, culture, traditions, technology, and we do so by engaging young children in art right from a tender age, from as young as 3, 4, 5, 6. And we say that art is in each and every one of us, and there are different ways to express art. So what we are doing at Young Artists at Orb is to capture them young, or catch them young, to teach children about art, culture, traditions, music, and science too, in an easy way to learn. So some of the things we do are poetry, science, we do artworks, we do creative writing, and today we have Ayomide, who's going to read this poem to us about darkness. And then we also have Adrian, who's also going to tell us some of the things that we've been doing at Young Artists at Home at Tunde Odunlade Art Gallery. So I introduce Ayomide to you all. Yes. What's your name?
My name is Agonde Ayomide.
How old are you?
I'm 13 years.
What school do you attend?
I attend Methodist Grammar School at Bodija.
All right. And then what class are you in?
I'm going to just SS1.
Great. So as you've been attending the summer school, French and Fun summer school, can you tell us some of the things that you've learned so far before you proceed to reading your poem to us?
Okay. I learned that you start from what you know, then you go to the unknown. So never believe that you know everything. You may, where you know, it is where other people have passed. So you may think that I've known this class, but when you proceed, you get that you have not known anything. So, and the French is good, the club helps children, the creative writing develops children ability. So thanks.
Thank you very much. Can you read your poem to us about darkness? Pull up your book, please.
Darkness. Darkness is the frame of beauty. Darkness is the absence of light. Darkness, the power of neutral beauty. A beauty to which some are blind. Darkness has its own weakness, which is light. Darkness makes things look dull, but once you bring out an art, it becomes wonderful. Darkness in art feels like sorrow. Darkness, something evil, which is not. Darkness, sometimes scary, but it's always the frame of beauty. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Can you tell us a bit of what inspired you, and can you explain some of the things that was going through your mind when you wrote about this beautiful poem that even adults admire, and it helps us to reflect the depth of your thoughts, to put into words and bring to light? That your poem is like encapsulated in darkness, but you have brought it into light for the world to know about, for you sharing it to everybody. I think that's an excellent thing, and I encourage you to keep it up. Thank you very much for the poem, but please do explain to us what the poem was all about.
Darkness, it's about darkness.
Yes.
Darkness is the frame of beauty, which means, like, for instance, in the beginning, there was darkness. So every art starts with darkness.
Wow.
So you bring out an art from darkness, and darkness is the frame of beauty. As we all know, frame covers the four corners of beauty, and darkness is always in the corners, which are shadows. They are always in the corners.
Wow.
And they cover the beauty.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we're bringing on board our young artist here. Can you introduce yourself to us?
My name is Adrian Moyet.
How old are you?
I am 8 years old.
What school do you attend?
Playworks.
You're in what class?
I'm in grade
You're
3.
you're going to grade 3.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so can you tell us how you've been occupying yourself this summer season holiday period? What have you been doing?
Well, at the start, me and my brothers were just at home until our cousins came. Then we had something to do, and then we started making a club where anyone can join.
Okay.
And we do not decline.
So what was your club about? Or what's your club about?
The club is about having fun and learning and art.
Okay, art.
And we meet new people there, have fun.
Fantastic. I know that you told us that you did some artwork and somebody bought your artwork. So for the first time you sold your artwork, can you tell us what you did that made an adult buy your artwork from you?
I painted it and I went to ask some people if they wanted to buy my artwork until someone said yes. So they bought it from me.
Wow.
So if you want to start a business young, you can start it at any time, any day. Well, as long as you're ready, you can start the business and start making money.
Great. So I know that at the French and Fun Summer School, you've been painting. Ayomide and his colleagues, they've been doing some drawing. We're teaching them how to draw from the scratch. And they've done some fantastic artworks that we're going to show our viewers at home. We're teaching them to write poems, they write stories, beautiful creative stories, filled with lots of imagination. Some are filled with humor as well. And it's fantastic because as long as you're coming to French and Fun Summer School, you can never have a bored moment. There's no time for being bored or being idle. We're doing activities like AI art. Like he said, teaching people to make, or young children to make money from a tender age. We're teaching them AI art, and with their AI arts, they're blending it with storytelling, so they can have their own comic books. They can publish their first novels and storybooks. They're doing painting, drawing. We're doing chemistry, the basics of chemistry with them because they're having practicals.
Creative writing,
Yes.
upcycling,
Epoxy resin art.
African history, geography, and wood art.
Exactly. So in terms of African history, young artists were Pan-Africanists. We like to engage our children or our participants in African activities, African history, to take pride right from a very young age in their Africanness and African identity. And as they do so, they're also ambassadors to export and share their values as Africans to people around the world, whether in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, wherever they go to. They can be proud Africans with no inferiority complex because they know that they are the descendants of great people, scientists, innovators, and this is what we try to imbibe in all of them. These are some of the works that we have done at Young Artist Art Hub, and you can display them. This is marbling. We call this marbling method. Some of them do paints, and like I said, we draw, we do all sorts. Yeah. Do you have anything to add to?
So once you get a mentor, I always advise people to get a mentor who will develop your ability.
Help you develop your
Yes.
ability. Great.
Yes, and always be focused. And then always believe that there's nothing you cannot do. Don't believe that this person is higher. Always set yourself with high grade. Don't
Standards.
the high standard. Don't make yourself look as when those rich people they are playing, you always sit down in one corner. No, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing.
Yes. Also, at the French and Fun Summer School, languages are also incorporated in some of the activities we do. So we teach languages at a very fundamental level, entry level, where we emphasize the ability to be able to speak, to be able to first and foremost to understand the words coming from a different language. For instance, we take French. That's why it's called French and Fun Summer School. So within 2-3 weeks, you'll be surprised at the number of words, the vocabularies in French that your children have, and how they can easily understand that language. We also have volunteers who are going to be taking us in Mandarin language. Some people may ask, what is Mandarin language? Mandarin is basically the Chinese language that, what we call the Chinese language. So we have 2 volunteers who are going to be taking us in Mandarin, the basics of Mandarin, if it's the greetings or asking questions, numbers and all that. And as they take us that, they're also going to be taking us, teaching us how to identify their symbols, kanji and all that. So we're doing French, Yoruba, Mandarin. These languages, or English as well, the ability to be multilingual is very important, because you never can tell where you may find yourself. You can find yourself outside the shores of Nigeria or Africa, and you will have cause to interact with other people. So being able to communicate in other languages is very important. Even sometimes you can be right here in Nigeria where foreigners will come and meet you. And we're always very happy when we find people who can speak our language or who understand us. It puts other people at ease when they hear us speak their language. For instance, if you go to the market and you speak to a Hausa man and say Sonu or something, he'll be happy, and maybe he'll sell the goods to you at a lesser price. So we encourage everybody to come to French and Fun Summer School at Tunde Odulade Art Gallery. Thank you. So say goodbye to our viewers.
Bye bye.
Dis en français. Tu peux parler un peu en français?
Oui, ouais.
Alors, qu'est-ce que tu vas leur raconter?
Alors. Alors, comme au l'Art Gallery, on va apprendre des mots comme ça. Mais d'abord, ça va aller un peu difficile, mais après du temps, ça va devenir plus et plus facile.
Formidable, merci beaucoup. Et tu vas dire au revoir à tous notre spectateurs, les gens qui nous regardent. You're going to say goodbye to all our spectators. How do you say goodbye in French? Au revoir. Thank you very much. Bye. God bless.
Welcome back to the program Oju Inu Agba Oye, and we've had 2 segments. The first speaking about tourism and how tourism, the types of tourism and how tourism can help us and help society at large and the impacts of people. And also you've seen and heard from young people, young artists from the French and Fun Summer School, and I'm wild, I'm thrilled. They've been really engaged and they are doing a lot. Their summer is not wasted. And I used to tell people, summer is not about still going to enroll your child in another summer lesson whereby they will still be taking them arithmetics, taking them, loads of work. It boils the brain. But you can see like the title of the summer school is titled French and Fun. And I noticed when Adrian was speaking, he was just speaking fun. It was fun. Me and my friends were having fun. That's the way it should be. And fun, there's something we call edutainment. From entertainment we have edutainment, that is education that is entertaining. And this is an avenue whereby you can engage your words, engage your children, not necessarily burning them with school workload again during the summer. Let them do something creative, let them do something inspiring, and something that that can really make them active. And Adrian, you said you have you and your colleagues still have a lot of works you've done.
Yes.
So can you show us some? Can you show our listeners some? Okay, these are part of the works you've done. Oh, you did this too in your summer school?
Yes, that
Wow.
was one of my brothers.
Oh, this is
made it.
interesting. This
And
is
so
really
as
interesting.
and so as these other ones.
So you mean you and your friends in summer French and Fun Summer School did all this? Wow, this is interesting. This is interesting. And I heard you've sold one of your art pieces.
Yes.
So you're making money off art at a young age
Yes.
already. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So listeners at home, you're going to engage your words, your kids during this summer. The French and Fun Summer School is still open and active at the Tudor Arts and Culture Connections in Bodija, Ibadan. So we appreciate our tech behind this program, Mr. Oladeji of the Aloore Radio, and we thank you listeners for joining us. If you still want to watch this program again at a leisure time, you can watch on www.alooreradio.com and on YouTube and Facebook, Aloore Radio. If you have inquiries or you have suggestions as to regards to this program, you can call on 090-3985-3731. We say a very big thank you to the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism for this wonderful moment. And all thanks go to our chief host, the person of praise today, Odunlade, the chief creator of the Odunlade Arts and Culture Connections. I remain my humble self, Goke Animashao. I'll see you same time, same station next week. Cheerio.
God's been good to me. God's been good to me. I wake up in the morning with him on my mind.
Join our growing community of listeners all around the globe by following Aloore Radio on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, Aloore Radio, YouTube, Aloore Radio. Visit our website on www.alooreradio.com. You can also download the Aloore Radio application on the Google Play Store by searching Aloore Radio. Call or send a message on 0903 985 3731